Wow, so you clicked on part 2 and are still here with me? Thank you very much. Okay, so now I'm going to tell you how I make my HyperDocs. So first of all, let's think about your own class. What topic takes the most of your time in class? Which topics would you like your students to explore on their own? So just brainstorm on a piece of paper. In my case, as an EFL teacher and having to cover everything in one lesson, I decided to flip my grammar and my writing. But your classroom might be different, so that's why you have to do the exercise on your own. Next, you will see the HyperDocs structure. Think of the possible activities you could do at every step of the way in your own class. In the following slides, I give you some ideas of what I use. So this is the HyperDocs structure as proposed by the ladies I mentioned in part 1. So they proposed a 7-part structure for the HyperDoc, where you start with an engage activity, like what we do in a class with a hook, to engage students at the beginning of a lesson, insert a video, image, quote, or another inspirational hook in this box. Then we move on to exploring. In exploring, we curate a collection of resources like articles, videos, infographics, text, excerpts, etc. for students to explore a topic. This is not explanatory, it's just an exploration. Then you have the explain part, in which you are more, let's say, explicit about what you're trying to teach and your lesson objective. This is kind of the direct instruction portion of your lesson. Then you have the apply, where you create an assignment for students to apply what they learn by using tools to create, collaborate, or connect beyond the classroom. Here is where I use Bloom's Taxonomy's high-order thinking skills. Then we have the share. Students, we collect students' work to provide feedback and or include a section for them to share it. Then we have the reflect. This is the metacognitive part of the HyperDoc. We include an opportunity for face-to-face or digital reflection to guide students along the learning progression and setting new goals. And then we have an extension. You know, you always have learners who want a little bit more, so this is for those learners. We give them a little bit more extra activities, maybe something more meaningful or communicative for them to continue working with the topic that you are proposing. So, for example, in the Engage part of my HyperDocs, I normally use YouTube videos, movie clips, short TED Talks, series clips, memes, especially jokes, very short stories, VOA new videos, songs, or song lyrics. But remember, my class is an EFL class. This would vary according to your context. In the Explore section, I normally use readings from Newsela. If you don't know this website, I recommend. It's really strong. It's a really good website, same as Common Lit. So readings either from Newsela or Common Lit, infographics by using Canva, websites or blogs, videos from VOA News, enhanced readings with Insert Learning, videos from YouTube, and enhanced readings with Actively Learn. So I have my students explore the topic using these different resources. Then for the explain part, I normally use the Screencast-O-Matic. This is what I use for this particular video. So my own screencasted videos or videos from YouTube that I curate, or a classroom explanation. This rarely happens because I try not to do the classroom explanations anymore. That's direct instruction. But something like peer instruction is more kind of what I like to do. Okay. Then in the apply part, well, the list is long and it depends on your creativity, but grammar websites, in my case, because it's grammar when I flip, online grammar games, exercises with deck toys, that's another website which allows you to create a flow of activities, presentation making sites, having students create presentations with emails or Prezi, Write and Improve by Cambridge English. This is a really great tool that I like to use because it gives them feedback. Google Doc creation. I have my students create their own Google Docs, choice boards and bingos, and Storybird. For sharing, normally we share via class presentation or paper in a traditional way. Gallery walk, I like to do this one very much. It's like when I post students' work on the walls of the classroom and then they just walk around checking what everybody did. We have commenting on Google Docs, that's another way of sharing. For example, if they create a slides, like a slideshow, they can comment on their classmates' slideshows. Google Forms and spreadsheets, Google Slides, a student film festival. This is an idea proposed by the ladies in the book. Digital portfolios and Flipgrid. If you don't know this tool, you definitely have to go ahead and check it. Reflect. For this part of the HyperDoc, I normally have an online journal within my course platform. As I showed you in the video before, we use Coursites. But if you don't have it, you can use Penzu or another online journaling service. Rubrics and checklists, they are another way that I use for my students to reflect on their work. Padlet, very, very easy and nice. WhatsApp audios. I have a WhatsApp group with my students. A lot of people don't do this, but I do it, and it's really helpful because I can hear each one of them reflect on the HyperDoc. Flipgrid, once again, some of them are not too hot about showing themselves on video, but it's an alternative. Wordle, I have them create a Wordle with what they learned from the HyperDoc. Tables in a Google Doc or Google Docs themselves. So it basically depends on how creative you are, what you can use for the reflection part. And then to extend, basically anything you can think of. So online games, websites, additional reading, just some that I use. TED Talks, definitely. Blog posts, either my own or from other teachers and experts. Wenderopolis is a really, really cool website where my students like to go and explore topics further. And Canva, just in case students want to design something. Okay, so now I invite you to create and share your own HyperDoc. If you are a Twitter user, you can use the hashtag HyperDocs and get connected with hundreds of HyperDoc users and even their creators. And also, I invite you to reflect on the following questions. What do you think of the overall concept of HyperDocs? Do you feel you can apply this to your class? What are your main concerns about implementing them? I have my own reflections, so I invite you to scan the QR codes or visit the links just to check my blog, just in case. It's crbuitrago.com, so you can check out what I have learned from implementing this amazing tool. And if you want to extend your learning about this, I invite you to follow my blog. I also invite you to get your hands on the book, the HyperDoc Handbook. It's available through Amazon. There is a link in the description of the first video. And you can also scan this code, which is a folder full of templates by the authors. They have a page which is teachers, sorry, it escapes my mind, but if you check out their book, I'm pretty sure you're going to find it there. Teacher share, something like that. So for me, what are the benefits of HyperDocs? First of all, students are engaged. Second, students are more self-regulated, because even though I am giving them a lot of work, it is scaffolded, and so each one of them can take it at their own time. I have evidenced more agency. Students are making their own decisions for learning. Content curation now has a clear purpose. Like at the beginning, I was flipping my class without HyperDocs, and I just had a lot of nice resources, but now I have a really good place to put everything. This connects to the next one, which is very well organized learning experience. Scaffolding is natural. It was really hard to do the scaffolding before I did the HyperDocs, but now this is kind of a natural way to do it. Differentiation also happens naturally because, of course, if I have a lot of activities to plan, I need to know my students in order to cater for each one of them. And everybody's needs are catered for. It's like I've noticed I have been able to include my students in a much more thorough way. What are the challenges that I have experienced? They're time consuming to make. So yes, planning a HyperDoc, it's difficult, it's time consuming, but it's totally worth it. So as Eleanor Roosevelt said, do one thing that scares you every day. So if this scares you, then I suggest you should just go ahead and start working on it, because it's going to be a great benefit for you and for your students, as well as for your flipped class. Thank you very much for watching. Please follow me on Twitter and check out my website just in case you want to see my blog posts. Thank you so much. Bye.